See, we are in a world where we unconsciously are being squeezed into, if you financially provide, if they have nice stuff and nice clothes and are in a good school, maybe even a private school, and the best educational tools and the nicest computer and maybe their own laptop, that you've done your job. And what I want to tell you is what your kids need are a different set of resources. And they need resources to help them obey. And there are 5 resources or tools that flow right out of Deuteronomy chapter 6. And you got that pen? You need a pen. I'm going to read this passage, and as I hit certain phrases, I'm going to ask you to circle it. Because these 5 resources are what you need and what I need to help my child obey. Are you ready? Hear, O Israel, Deuteronomy starts out. Chapter 6, verse 4. The Lord is our God. The Lord is one. Circle that phrase. The Lord is one. And as you circle that, this isn't just an intellectual statement. This is a theological statement. This is written in a world where there's all these gods and all these isms and all these things everywhere. And God speaks through Moses and says, Hear, O Israel. This is the great Shema. This is the theological laying down of the gauntlet for all of Israel. Our God is the Creator. There is only one God. It's a theological statement. We believe in one God, Yahweh. Second, and you, he's speaking to parents here, shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Will you circle, you shall love the Lord your God? And these words which I am commanding you shall be on your heart. Will you circle that? Parents, you're supposed to love the Lord your God. And these words that I'm speaking, this biblical content, circle the phrase shall be on your heart. And then once it's on your heart, and you shall teach them diligently to your sons. Will you circle, teach them diligently? And not only are we to teach them systematically or diligently to our sons, but you shall talk of them. Circle that last phrase. You shall talk of them. Well, when should you talk about God and educate your kids? Well, he tells you, when you sit in your house and when you walk by the way and when you lie down and when you rise up. That's kind of like all the time, isn't it? And then notice verse 8, you shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontals on your forehead, and you shall write them on your doorposts of your house and on your gates. Will you put a box around the word hand, put a box around the word frontals, put a box around the word doorpost, and put a box around the word gates. By the way, we're doing basic Bible study. The way to study the Scriptures is first make observations. It's not what I think it says. What we want to find out is, what does it say? And so you make observations, then we make interpretation, and then we'll apply it. I believe out of those 5 that you circled, let me give you 5 resources for your children. Number 1, doctrinal truth. You must give your kids, in a world of relative truth, this is right, this is wrong. This is who God is. This is who Jesus is. He is fully God, fully man, Savior of the world. He is the way, the truth, and the life. You must teach your kids doctrinal truth. It's the foundation of their whole world. And they're living in a sea of relativity. And on the tube, and on the music, and MTV, and then at school, everyone is telling them there's a million ways to do a million things, and no one's right about anything. Moms and dads, resource number 1, teach them what's true, teach them what's right. Resource number 2 is personal devotion. That's a resource that you give them. It says, you shall love the Lord with all your heart. We're back to modeling, aren't we? Your kids need to be early in the morning opening the bedroom door and on to use your bathroom like they're not supposed to, and they need to accidentally catch you kneel down to your bed with an open Bible, praying over a passage, because it's the habitual thing that you do in your heart, in your life. Your kids need to see you get a phone call about grandma or granddad or a close friend, and you find out they have cancer, and they need to see you with tears streaming down your face, pulling the family together and praying and crying out to God. It's worth a zillion sermons. The resource we give our kids is first doctrinal truth. They need to see your passion, your personal devotion as a priority. I don't know how busy you are, but you're not too busy to spend time with God. We're not too busy to read romance novels. We're not too busy to watch TV. We catch ESPN. We read the Wall Street Journal, Business Week and Forbes, People magazine,